Some videos are too disturbing to watch alone, yet impossible to ignore. Dark. Ominous. Terrifying. It's not just shadows or objects, it's the negative energy that controls.
Oh my god! What are you doing?
And today, we have compiled the scariest videos on the internet no one has an explanation for. Another driver traveling along a forest road in Indonesia reported a chilling encounter when a large, dark-clothed figure suddenly emerged from an intersecting path deep within the woods. Acting on Good Samaritan instincts, the driver stopped, hoping to offer help or a ride.
Oh my god! What are you doing?
Only to realize the figure was nothing like a normal person. It had a witch-like face with a stature and build much bigger than feminine, was wearing some type of face paint or mask, and was holding a small human or doll in its arms. Although the clip was being filmed by the dashcam, it suddenly stopped recording moments after it had turned around facing the source, leaving what happened next a mystery. Spooky chase. Around the time of midnight, a biker who was cruising on what he thought was an empty road until he noticed that he was actually being chased. The entity that was after him looked much like a zombie or something that was dug up from a grave. Despite moving at a decent pace, it managed to keep up as the biker, along with his mate, who weren't as creeped out, could get a good look at it and even filmed it on camera before they sped back up. Could it have actual zombie-like intentions to jump them, or was it just as curious as the bikers? Headless hooligan. One night, a driver just a couple of miles outside Tupelo, Mississippi, was on the road in the midst of heavy rain when he was shocked to see a very tall, headless figure suddenly appear on the back of a pickup truck. Completely still and towering in size, the headless form looked intimidating and terrifying, giving the impression that it was chasing the driver much like a modern-day headless horseman. In time, the pickup truck with the horse sped away and disappeared in the darkness, just as it appeared almost as if it had made its point. Road ritual. On the outskirts of Kuala Terengganu, Malaysia, a late-night driver encountered a disturbing scene involving a small group of individuals dressed in white who charged toward him unprovoked as he passed by. They were gathered around a small campfire in what appeared to be a ritual or act of worship meant to summon something supernatural. As he drove past, the group suddenly rushed toward his vehicle with hostile intent, forcing him to speed away out of fear for his safety, leaving behind an eerie image of chanting figures circling the fire in the darkness. Ghost Man.
Nuestra vida cambió.
Two friends were hanging out late at night, just a couple of miles out of Victoria de Durango, Mexico, where they had their paths crossed with what can only be described as a ghost. At first, everything felt normal, until they walked past a stranger on the dirt road. As soon as they passed him, they both felt something was wrong, like the air suddenly changed.
Buenas noches.
When they turned around to look back, the stranger was gone. No footsteps, no sound, no trace. He had disappeared in just a few seconds. It was almost as if the ghost appeared in a physical form.
No te pases de bestia. No mames. No.
Werewolf or shapeshifter? This CCTV camera footage dating January 15th, 2026 was taken on a street in Arlington, Texas, where an unbelievable sighting unfolded. On the empty street late in the night, a man randomly appeared in front of the camera before collapsing to the ground. Just as instantly as it first appeared. Within a matter of seconds, he completely changed or transformed into an animal. The video, after getting viral, left most viewers guessing this to be anywhere from an actual case werewolf sighting to that of a shapeshifter that blends in well with both humans and its canine kind. Possessed monk. On June 27, 2024, a tourist driving along a remote road in Tibet was suddenly stopped when a monk stepped into his path, blocking the way without offering any reason or explanation, until it suddenly gave a terrifying reaction. It almost looked like the monk was possessed, if not turned into a complete zombie, considering the mind, body, and spiritual training the monks go through. Someone in a situation like this makes it even scarier. Twisted head lurker. A tenant from an apartment balcony who was having a smoke noticed this very disturbing-looking lurker. It was dressed in dark clothing with a head that was either twisted or was broken by on its upper back, casually staring at the source, which made it clear that this couldn't be any normal girl or woman. Whether this was a witch or a spiritual figure is not known for sure. Even though he was terrified by its nature, the tenant decided to keep filming it, seeing how unbelievably real this encounter was. Haunted house encounter. At the very beginning of their exploration into the abandoned house, a crew of paranormal investigators encountered something deeply unsettling. An ominous presence stood at the very mouth of the entrance, as if it had been waiting for them to arrive. A very tall figure with a demonic face was spotted sitting in a blind spot, having both its eyes wide open, along with its mouth, while it looked to be in a trance state. Having the fear of what might follow, the paranormal investigators decided to cut short their journey out of safety concern. Child ghost. While exploring an abandoned house on the outskirts of Mexico City, a paranormal investigator posted a video on his TikTok showing what appeared to be a ghostly child he encountered inside.
Hola. Uy, chucha, salió. Uy, uy. ¿Qué? Hola. ¿Qué hace?
With the house being sealed and long abandoned, the recorder was sure that no one was around, which made it certain that this indeed was a child ghost that made a physical appearance, especially after he attempted to talk to it. As soon as he got closer to it, the child ghost got up and, in a matter of seconds, disappeared into the darkness.
Está Juan. Está aquí. Miren cómo camina.
Strange girl. What began as a peaceful camping trip quickly turned into something far more disturbing for a group of friends. While setting up their campsite, they were drawn in by strange, unexplained noises echoing through the area, and curiosity pushed them to investigate. What they discovered left them shaken. A humanoid figure slowly swaying on a swing beneath a massive tree, its movements unnatural and deeply unsettling. Its arms were stretched outward, its legs bent at impossible angles, and its appearance carried a horrifying, zombie-like presence. Fear eventually forced them to retreat, but when they returned later with others, both the figure and the swing had completely disappeared, leaving no sign that they had ever been there at all. Balcony rake. As night fell for the second time, locking your windows became more than a habit. It was survival. A security camera captured a woman gathering clothes from the line, unaware of the presence lurking nearby. Suddenly, a pale, hunched figure slithered past the open door on all fours. Its almost translucent skin giving it an inhuman, nightmarish appearance. Viewers immediately compared it to the rake, the creature of whispered horror tales. Whatever it was, one thing was certain: the woman was far from alone that night, and the footage left everyone watching with the chilling realization that they weren't either. Staring spirit. Something about the doll on his rack felt wrong, so he grabbed his camera and began recording. Moments later, right in front of him, the doll slowly tilted its head, as if it were aware. His stomach sank. He tried to reason it away, maybe lighting, maybe his imagination. But when he reviewed the footage, the truth was undeniable. The movement was real. The doll had shifted on its own, or worse, something inside it had. That was enough. He didn't wait, didn't hesitate. He made sure it was locked away or gone for good. Humped back figure. This video went viral in Cinco Saltos, Argentina on the 18th of February 2025, after it was filmed and shared on social media by a private property owner. It showed an unknown person who looked like they were possessed, if not some supernatural entity that appeared in physical form and was passing by. It had dark hair, clothes, and shoes, apart from the skin texture that made it impossible for him to get a good look at what exactly it was, especially since it was seen during the nighttime. Una Bruja sighting. While looking for a missing woman on the road in the Caribbean part of Mexico at night, the source saw an unknown figure that looked very similar to the mythical Una Bruja crawling past a small, narrow wall. It was wearing a bright reddish single-piece attire, which was reported to be the same that the missing woman was reported to be seen dressed in last. The driver appeared, spotting her immediately. Turned around to identify, but it disappeared by then. It is unclear if the witch that was seen crawling over the wall was the woman or a witch that disappeared by witchcraft. Disappearance on camera. After heavy rain on a road in Davao City, Philippines, a strange man appeared walking across a pool of rainwater. Despite repeated warnings that a broken power line cable had fallen into the water, as he stepped in and was walking completely unaffected. The witnessing bystander was shocked and convinced that this was no ordinary person, and he started recording it. As the unknown entity of interest passed by the light post, there was a glitch of light that turned off for a couple of seconds before it turned back on, but the man mysteriously disappeared. Door phantom. A man in Mexico reviewed his security camera footage and discovered something deeply unsettling after his motion-activated camera kept notifying of being outside. He noticed a shadowy figure appear near his front door, moving quickly as if it were watching him. When he opened the door to investigate, there was nothing there, only silence and emptiness. The figure had vanished without a trace. The footage ends abruptly, leaving unanswered questions behind. Was it merely a trick of the light, or something far more unsettling and not of this world? Witch in graveyard? After visiting a graveyard in Guadalajara, Mexico at night, the witness claimed to see a witch standing atop a concrete grave, dressed entirely in white. Either it was facing the other side, or its face was covered by hair, along with darkness that made it impossible for the witness to get a good look at her. The option of getting out to investigate was obviously off the table. Judging by the appearance and body language, it is clear that this was some witch, if not a ghost or a spirit, that was taking a physical form. Even after having returned to his place, he noticed the same witch that he had seen in the cemetery. It was calmly walking along the nearby street, wearing what looked like a wedding dress, almost as if it were deliberately following and haunting him. A very brief sound of a cry or distress could be heard from it, which left the source too terrified to do anything but keep his distance, turning his lights off while continuing to record until it gradually walked away. Beast in shadow. In 2014, a woman in Pennsylvania recorded a chilling encounter in her basement. The footage showed a large, upright figure with glowing eyes, yet its face was completely obscured, making it even more unsettling. There was no struggle, no explanation, just the creature standing there.
What are you?
Then, without warning, the video abruptly cut off. What made it even more disturbing was that the footage was later uploaded online, raising an unsettling question. If the recording stopped so suddenly, how did it end up being shared at all?
What are you? What are you doing in my house? What are you?
Midnight encounter. Within the narrow districts of Banyuwangi, Indonesia, a resident noticed this very spooky woman-like entity that was walking outside the pathway of an apartment complex. Initially, he took her to be one of the possible tenants until the spooky nature and manner of walking said otherwise. Could it be the woman who was possessed? A witch? Or perhaps just some troubled woman were some of the possibilities. The source decided to maintain distance for obvious reasons and decided to get answers by zooming in on it. Hidden among tree. On January 2nd, 2026, a resident in Chile captured a chilling video while rearranging his storage locker just outside his home. For some time, he had been hearing strange sounds and sensing a presence nearby. That's when he noticed a terrifying figure partially hidden beneath a tree. The clip, later shared online, shows the eerie and unsettling being, its mysterious nature leaving viewers shaken and questioning what exactly was lurking in the shadows. Could it be something paranormal or just another witch? Moving gravestone. In a cemetery somewhere in Buenos Aires, Argentina, a groundskeeper noticed and filmed this haunting incident that started occurring out of the blue on November 24th, 2025. Now, even though it is widely believed that spirits tend to linger in and around cemeteries, the shaking of this gravestone could be caused either by a ghost or by the very soul that was resting there. As the video went viral, many viewers and religious people started to speculate that this was a soul that was in distress or trial in the afterlife. However, the exact cause of this remains unknown. Darting Siluti. Hoping to monitor wildlife, a hunter set up a trail camera in Romania's Hoia Baciu forest and was shocked by what it captured. An unrecognized white silhouette appeared on the camera that clearly looked to be of a ghost as it darted its way from right to left. A zoomed-in version showed the figure as if it were crawling, while at the same time was brushing away as if it were spiriting. Residing spirit. Officers at a police station in Chile began experiencing unsettling incidents that had no clear explanation. One night, CCTV footage captured a chilling moment when a door slowly opened by itself, followed by a shadowy, mist-like figure passing through the doorway.
Yo veo una hueá blanca. Mira.
Ahí salió.
Mira como un humo, Juan.
There was no solid form, only a drifting haze. Yet it appeared to be connected to the door, moving on its own. Moments later, a female officer approached the area. Confused but calm, she closed the door and walked away. What the camera recorded left many wondering whether something unseen had been quietly occupying the station all along.
Yo quedé mirando ahí, Juan, y que...
Lonely Crossroad. This policeman was riding home late at night when he encountered something he could hardly believe. A woman in a flowing white gown, her long black hair hanging over her face, suddenly appeared in front of his motorcycle, forcing him to stop abruptly. Before he could process the sight, she vanished, leaving him stunned and uneasy. Moments later, she reappeared, and fear overtook him as he sped away. Shaken and unsure if he had imagined it, he later asked security to review the cameras, and the footage confirmed what he had seen, convincing him that the encounter had been with a ghost. Truck apparition. A trucker who was on his regular delivery routine on I-80 in Pennsylvania when, on the way, a silhouette randomly appeared for a fraction of a second. At first, the driver thought he was hallucinating after not having slept for hours until he saw the video.
And it seemed like I was the only one who noticed it. Now you're going to see some really weird fog coming up here, and then there it is.
Then he was under the impression that this was some type of optical illusion that showed a cloud-like silhouette that appeared in the shape of a truck. The trucker even thought of the incident as a possible spiritual or supernatural message from the soul of a trucker who may have passed away around that area. Physically appearing jinn. Just outside of a town stood an abandoned house that locals avoided and spoke of only in hushed tones. Stories varied. Some claimed it was cursed, while others insisted something non-human lurked inside. Determined to uncover the truth, a small group of investigators installed CCTV cameras throughout the building. What the footage revealed was deeply unsettling. One camera captured a pair of glowing eyes attached to a form unseen by the naked eye, while another showed a tall, emaciated figure silently drifting through a room, its movements eerily reminiscent of a djinn. The recordings left little room for doubt. This was more than a haunted house. It was a place inhabited by something far darker, and whatever resided there was not alone. Road Dwarf. This guy was checking out of his brand new car as he was driving down a hilly road when, while taking a turn, noticed a very unbelievably small dwarf-like figure. Its body stature, size, and build made it clear that this was no child or baby that was on the road, but rather a dwarf or goblin. It was caught crossing the road and remained completely unbothered despite a high-speed vehicle appearing and passing very close to it. Uninvited guest. Leaving his door open proved to be a grave mistake. While he slept, something silently slipped into the room, its limbs twisting and bending in ways no human body should. It wasn't lost. It was hunting. For food, for him. Slowly, it crept closer, inching toward the bed. Then, abruptly, the video feed cut out after the motion sensor-activated cameras triggered it. What happened next remains a mystery, but the unknown alone is enough to keep anyone awake, staring at the door, lights on. Surveilling little ones. A couple who were just leaving after attending a concert in San Diego noticed a group of unknown people who were following and surveilling them from a distance. After having parked their vehicle in an unofficial location, they noticed that the group of people that were surveilling them were little people or dwarfs, which they initially took to be kids, until they got a good look after them using a powerful flashlight. Out of safety concerns, they maintained a distance for minutes before getting into their vehicle and leaving the area. Haunting perpetrator. An unknown witness was filming a sudden blaze at a vacant property in Lakeville, Minnesota, when he noticed a terrifying figure staring directly back at him. No suspicious person was seen leaving the scene, which raised serious questions about the cause of the fire. The witness believed this figure was responsible for setting the blaze. What further strengthened this theory was that the figure, or being, was seen disappearing only minutes before the smoke thickened and the flames began to rapidly spread throughout the surrounding area. Weird woman. One night in a favela in Brazil, a resident filmed what he initially believed was a young woman, but within moments, he began to feel doubtful about what he was seeing. From the weird manner of walking to its unreal eyes and general nature of desperation, to blending in both spooked the source, as well as left him curious of its nature. He, along with the viewers, raised the obvious question if this was some alien or skinwalker, according to some Redditors, especially the way it turned towards the camera and was staring. Tiny terrors. This one feels like pure nightmare material. Late at night, a man pulled over on a completely deserted street, enjoying the quiet, when he noticed something disturbing ahead. Small figures, far too tiny to be normal people, were moving about in the distance. They walked upright, almost playfully, yet their movements felt unnatural, as if they were aware of his presence. Some tried to brush it off as children, but that explanation didn't fit. Kids don't roam empty streets at that hour. Whatever these figures were, they weren't lost. They seemed intentional, as if they were there for a reason. Goblin creature. In 2010, a student named Arian recorded casual videos during a school field trip to Fort Mills in the Philippines, a historic World War II fortress. Years later, while revisiting the footage, she noticed something unsettling she had missed before. For a split second, a dark, human-shaped figure appears on the upper level of a barracks at Battery Grubs. An area where American and Philippine soldiers were killed in 1942. The figure moves briefly, then vanishes, with a stiff, disciplined motion that resembles a soldier on patrol. Some viewers believe it could be a spirit or a creature. What keeps the mystery alive is that the figure appears only once and never again. Doorstep danger. A mother and her son had just returned from shopping, entering their home as usual.
Really fast. I need you to go shower. Please, Daniel.
Moments after locking the door, their doorbell camera captured something chilling. A man approached, moving slowly and deliberately, then knocked with an unsettling force. There was something deeply off about him and his posture, his expression, the way he lingered by the door, as if waiting for something. Had the mom not locked the door in time, the outcome could have been far worse. Even watching the footage sends a shiver down the spine, a stark reminder to double-check locks and stay alert after dark.
Get out of here!
Vanishing figure. A security camera from Bogota, Colombia, that was recorded in April 2018 showed something that has left many baffled. In it, a lone figure was seen walking down a quiet street late at night, seemingly ordinary. Then, in an instant, the recording camera suddenly froze, cutting off the video feed figure until the shadow entity that appeared started to vanish. At first glance, it could be mistaken for a camera glitch, but the CCTV had been functioning perfectly just moments before, making the disappearance all the more mysterious and unsettling. Ghost from well. Two paranormal investigators in San Salvador de Pampas in Peru were passing by an old abandoned well when they spotted a ghostly figure standing beside it on August 6th, 2025. The moment they noticed it and started recording, the figure moved from the side of the well, circling and eventually entering it, proving it was truly a ghost. Using a thermal camera, the investigators were able to get an even clearer view of its movements. Locals say the spirit belongs to a boy from a nearby village who fell into the well and now haunts it. Feet in black. Ring camera video from a residence in Davenport, Iowa, repeatedly caught several instances of unexplained activity, all occurring around a series of times around midnight. The video showed a pair of feet in black that would pass at a spitting distance from the camera, with no visible body of who it might be. The footage was later shared by the source on his TikTok channel Seeking Answers, where the only justifiable explanation that was left was that these were of a ghost sighting. Road apparition. Tenants from a motel in an unspecified location cited this spooky entity that soon caught everyone's attention.
Ay, hijo de puta. Aguanta, pues, aguanta. Aguanta.
According to the source, it appeared walking around the motel just outside the radius of the light to be visible but unidentifiable, and was continuously making circles around, leaving them all concerned and at unease. Though none of them were able to get close enough, they started to speculate that this was a La Llorona, who was a famous vengeful ghost from Hispanic American folklore. The tenants kept a close eye on it until it eventually disappeared. Basketball court sighting. Late one night, a security guard at a Texas school captured a chilling video after hearing unusual noises from the basketball court. When he reviewed the security footage, a shadowy figure could be seen moving across the court, unnervingly forming the shape of a humanoid. The guard mentioned that the school had a reputation for being built on a haunted site, hinting that the figure might be a spirit making its presence felt. The unsettling footage has since left viewers questioning what or who really lurks in the school after dark. Divine entity? A team of wildlife photographers were looking around for activity when they noticed this bizarre glowing entity that was stationary on top of a tree. The bright white glow, along with a nun-like silhouette, instantly made it feel as though there was something very divine about it. According to the author of the video, the figure disappeared as he moved closer to investigate. Could this have been some kind of divine sign, or merely a coincidence that shall now remain a mystery? Disturbing discovery. Among all the bizarre or super scary discoveries that you have seen in a cemetery, this one has to be one of the most creepy ones. A California man was passing by one of the very old parts of a cemetery, where he found a 100-year-old grave with hair sticking out of it. While there is no known scientific explanation, the source believes that this could be a witch that rests in this grave during the day, but wakes up after dark. Open discussion. This picture and video were taken on the night of May 30th, 2021, by a local in Jharkhand, India, showing a strange figure walking on the road. As the video went viral, many initially thought it resembled an alien, though the source described it as a strange, possessed human figure strolling down the road. The video was reportedly recorded on the Chadwa Dam Bridge in the Hazaribagh district by some bikers. To this day, its nature remains a mystery. The video has definitely reached its end. I will see you again with another Wapo Al video. Until then, you can check these other videos out for a wow dose of entertainment and knowledge.